on Sunday. Eagles offensive lineman Lane Johnson said he wants to, quote, dethrone pretty boy Tom Brady. Lane was on First Things First this morning and did not back down from that. Let's take a listen.
You made comments about dethroning the pretty boy Tom Brady. And did you expect these comments to get as much of attention that they've gotten?
I think it needs to. I mean, obviously he's the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't want to go to the Super Bowl and be, hey, thanks, Tom. Thanks for having us. We wish you the best. Let's be in your good graces. And obviously they're going to talk about him the whole week until they somehow get arthritis in their tongue. I don't know how that's going to be possible, but it'll happen. So from that standpoint, I'm going in confident. I want our team to be confident, and we're not just going there to celebrate. We're going there to win.
Okay, Lane.
I like Lane already.
I like that, Lane.
We're joined by FS1 analyst Eric Dickerson. Welcome back,
Kevin
Eric.
Love needs some of Lane Johnson to him.
Eric, how much of a shot do you give the Eagles to pull the upset?
You know what? I'm not even saying it's an upset. I said the Eagles are going to win.
Oh, you just laid it right out on the table.
I'm saying the Eagles are going to win. You know, I'm going to go back to 2008 when the Giants won the Super Bowl. And everyone was, Patriots going to win. It's going to be an easy walk for the Patriots. And I took the Giants straight. I said, I didn't want the points. I didn't want the points in this game. I think the Eagles are the better football team. Now, I think the Patriots have the better football player in Tom Brady, for sure. And coach, defensive coach. But when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, you know what Doug Peterson has done a good job of? He went back and he looked at tape, what made Nick Foles a Pro Bowl quarterback. You know, what works best for him. And he inserted that. Let Nick Foles be Nick Foles. He's not trying to make him play Carson Wentz's offense. He's going back to let him play the football that he knows. Like when he was with the Rams, he said that he wanted to retire from football. Well, I don't want to retire too. I mean, but you know, when you have a way to play the way that you think this works for me, like if I'm a running back, like I can't run inside, I can run outside. You know, or if I'm a receiver, I'm not good across the middle, I'm good going outside. So they've given Nick Foles the offense. He has the weapons. He has the defense. Now, I'll say this much here, that for sure the defense isn't a great defense, but I think it's a very good defense. Jim Schwartz has a very good defense. One thing about the Eagles, when I even think of the Eagles, the old Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles like to hit the quarterback. Yeah, they will get at you. They'll blitz you. They will punish a quarterback, and I think Jim Schwartz is the same way. I think they will get after Tom Brady. I think that this will be a game. I think it's going to be a close football game, but I do give the edge to the Philadelphia Eagles.
I give them a great shot, Skip, because they have the front four. They have a defensive line with Fletcher Cox inside, Barnett, Graham, Jernigan, those guys, Chris Long. They got a nice rotation going. Now, the thing that you can have success doing, you can run the ball against this wide nine. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, everybody thinks that Tom Brady's going to just come out and throw the football. They're going to try to establish the run first because you got to slow that rush down. This is not the team that you want to just pin their ears back. Time of possession will be huge. Jacksonville won the time of possession, but a lot of times they had the ball for 4 minutes, but they got no points. Holding on to the ball without getting points do you no good because Tom Brady's going to score. I don't care how good your defense is. Tom Brady's going to score, and probably on a neutral site field, it's going to probably cause you need to get somewhere around 24 points to be able to compete with him. So that's what your goal should be. Nick Foles. Is he going to go 10 or 14 on third down? Skip, I don't know if he's going to be that. But you got to be somewhere high 40s, maybe 50% on third down, because you're going to have to sustain drives to keep the best defense for Tom Brady is not your defense, it's your offense and keeping his butt on the sideline. Because he can't hurt you when he got that park. Well, should be nice, but it's going to be indoors, so he won't have a park on. As long as he's parked side the fence and he's looking at the Jumbotron, you're good. It's when he gets on the field that he does his damage to people. But I think they got a great shot. I agree with you, ED, that Doug Peterson going back and find what works really well for Nick Foles. Let's put him in a situation where he's comfortable. Ran a lot of double moves, got the ball out of his hands quick. He's a rhythm guy, Skip. And you notice, like, when he gets in a rhythm, he'll complete 5, 6, 7 passes in a row. He got some nice receivers. Now, the thing that I think that Coach Belichick will do, he's going to play a lot of two-man because he's not worried about Nick Foles going anywhere. He's going to challenge these receivers. He's not going to give you easy throws now. So, Nick, the throws that you got last week, they're not happening. So you're going to have to be on your best behavior to take this team down. but it's doable. I give them an excellent shot.
Whew. So, Eric Dickerson, you ran the football pretty well in your career.
Sometimes.
In fact, I've called you the greatest running back ever.
I knew I liked
So, the New England Patriots last Sunday won an AFC Championship game at home, running the football a grand total of 46 yards. And until the final real play of the game, which was a sweep left that went for 18 yards, they had a grand total of 28 yards rushing. So, let's look at the flip side. Does Philly have a better running game than New England? Way better, to me, with those two backs, and throw a little Clement in there. Yeah. Does Philly have a little better offensive line than New England does? Yes, it does. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is the Philly receiving core better than Brady's overall receiving core? Yes, it is. If I throw in Ertz and all those other tight ends on top of those three receivers.
Alshon, Aguilar, Smith. Yeah.
Pretty good. Is Philly's front seven on defense better than New England's front seven? It is way better to me than the front seven. Maybe not. I'm going to give New England the secondary. I think the secondary New England's might be a little better, although I have high regard for Malcolm Jenkins.
Yes.
High regard. But still, it's that might be close, and I might go slight edge New England because of Stephon Gilmore and Malcolm Butler. But I just made a case. Now let's get back to the quarterback of the Eagles. What if I told you if there was this quarterback who had started 42 NFL games, and he had thrown 66 touchdown passes to only 29 interceptions? You'd say, who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Right? Okay. What if I told you that same quarterback had started 3 playoff games and completed a record, all-time record, 75% of his passes in 3 playoff games with 5 touchdowns to 0 interceptions? You'd say, I want that guy, right? That guy's Nick Foles. And by the way, about mobility, I'm going to say it again. Out of high school, Austin Westlake, Austin, Texas. He was recruited by Texas and Baylor to play basketball at 6 feet, 6 inches tall, Nick Foles. So he has some, I'm not saying he's fast or quick, but he can move a little bit. He has some athletic ability, some. So that guy's at quarterback. So it's not like you just threw in some raw backup or some rookie backup, who's never been there and done this before. He's done all this. He's had high success rate. So I'm going to give you a really good chance until I hear Lane Johnson. And I'm saying, when will anybody ever learn? You just can't rattle this cage. I said it about Jalen Ramsey last week, and I'm going to say it again. I really respect everything on paper about Philadelphia. You can't go in like that. You use the expression about you were talking about the tribe, that. You go after the lion, you're going to be beating your drum.
Yeah.
This is the lion. You don't go beating your drum.
Well, Plaxico did it.
Okay, but that was different because you had those guys. You had Strahan and Tuck and Umanura, and that was the record-setting Patriots. And I will give you this. I think they were feeling themselves a little bit. They'd broken every passing record.
And
he had Randy Moss. Yeah. Well, they barely beat him 38-35. But I think Tom Brady was a little bit fat cat. I think he learned a painful lesson that day, even though he did what he usually does with about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. He threw it to Moss, and they go up 14-10, and it took the all-time luckiest play in the history of the Super Bowl to undo that.
Right.
He got Tyreed. But still, to your point, I think Tom Brady thought they were going to win that one pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay? So, again, the one thing I don't like about the Eagles is I don't like the Eagles because I'm a Cowboy fan, but this is vintage, classic Eagle front-running sort of tough talk. Okay, yeah, you're the underdogs, and you are the underdogs. But Lane Johnson can't say that to Tom Brady. Call him a pretty boy, and we're going to dethrone you, and somebody.
He said we're going to dethrone
you.
Yeah.
He said this ain't no coronation. We're not just showing up to be in the parade.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
So they're going to talk about Tom Brady next week until they get arthritis in their lungs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a funny line, but Brady hears, he reads, he sees.
They watch this.
He's going to say, And Lane Johnson could do a lot of talking because Lane Johnson does not have to defend Tom Brady.
Well, I tell you what, Lane, if you go ahead and you guys back up what you said, what you're going down there to do, we're going to get arthritis in the tongue talking about you for that following week.
That is correct.
And what you pulled off.
Yeah. But I give him a great shot, but you better be careful with this guy. The other guys got the other team's got number 12. You don't mess with it. You don't tug on that
3
case.
games in a row, someone has.
I know. What are you doing?
I say that the Patriots have the best player, but I think the Eagles have the best football team. You know, when you look at the way the Patriots got to the Super Bowl, I mean, got to the Super Bowl, is that they played Tennessee. Now, we know Tennessee couldn't play with the Patriots. I mean, that was a pretty. I hate to say it, that was an easy game.
Yeah.
You know, Jacksonville. People ask me about. I say I like Jacksonville's defense. They have a great defense or a good defense.
They do.
But that offense, you know, they have a chance. Sometimes they sputter. They'll get hot, then they'll get cold. And that's exactly what happened. All of a sudden, you got the lead. And to me, they tried to protect the lead.
They did.
You can't do that with the Patriots because the Patriots, they're going to come after you.
Yeah.
So, once again, they haven't had a real tough goal of it to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, they're 13-3, just like the Eagles are 13-3. I think these are two very good football teams. I think at one point, you said it, you know, you crowned Winston as the MVP, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. But when Winston got hurt, you kind of jumped off that bandwagon. You jumped off that bandwagon.
Janet
So,
known for jumping off a
oh, yeah, I see Janet would jump off a bandwagon.
But here's the thing, Skip. If you think about it, now at one point in time, Kansas City was thought of as the best team in the AFC. Pittsburgh, there's not one moment. I mean, for the most part, the Eagles have been the #1 power rankings, them in Minnesota, and I think Minnesota jumped them once Carson Wentz got hurt. But if you look at their body of work up until Carson Wentz got hurt,
Yeah.
they were the #1 team in the NFC.
Well, the Patriots haven't had a tough go to the Super Bowl, but they have been there.
They've been there, what, 8 times? I mean, Nick Foles had a great game against what arguably the best defense in the National Football.
It was a great.
I mean, I'm talking about ripping them
Well,
apart.
they have a chance, but every little thing matters. So if you're a gambler, they're wearing the white jerseys. That's the
Big
breaking
deal.
news. Yeah, teams wearing white have won 12 of the last 13 Super Bowls. So.
And they've won
You
their
need
last
every-
3
you need every
seasons.
edge you
You
can
got
get,
all that
Eric.
edge, all that edge.
Every edge you
I
can
don't-
get. They're 3-1 in the Super Bowl.
So wait, so let me ask you a question. So who you going with? You said got a chance. I don't like that sitting on the fence stuff.
You know, right now, I picked New England at the beginning of the year.
So
But
you-
I picked New England to play Seattle. I think he had New England to play Dallas.
So who you going with?
I mean, you know how to
It's
leading up
too
to the Super Bowl.
early. It's
What
too
you
early
mean?
for
Leading
that.
up to the Super Bowl, somebody go do something
Something
crazy.
crazy. Well, I know what Skip going with it. I didn't ask him.
Eric, you got wishful thinking operating.
Okay.
You realize that because most people do. The Eagles have now become America's team.
They are.
They have.
they don't
Everybody
like
loves the
Philly.
The evil empire. The Steelers regret letting James